see if I'm live. Yeah, it looks like I am. Yeah, it looks like I am. There we go. So, this is going to be the easiest possible way to do the Barrows Brothers boss slash minigame. When I say the easiest way, it's not necessarily the most efficient way. It is pretty fast for what it's worth, but I wouldn't, you know, give it too much credit considering it's still not the fastest possible way. It's just a really easy way. So what you're going to do first is you're going to want to grab at least 2 styles of combat. So I'm in this case I'm going to do this without necromancy. So what I like to do usually use is range and magic. So I have my tier 90 magic weapons and I have my tier 90 magic range weapons. If you see perks on these, don't worry, they're not necessary by any means. To be quite frank, this can be done with tier 70s, and it really doesn't make that much of a difference. The next thing you are going to want is as many pieces as possible of your armor to be tribrid. So in my case, I'm using what's called the anima core of Sliske. So anima core of Sliske is a tribrid tier 80 armor that does not give any damage bonuses whatsoever. And what it means by tribrid is you can use all 4 combat styles with it without any, detrimental debuffs to it. You can even use necromancy with this if you want. But it's like I said, in this case, I'm not going to use necromancy. So the next thing you want is your cape as well. I'm using a max cape just because I have it. You can use any skill cape. That's probably the easiest one to obtain is the skill capes. A 99 or a 120, either one works. They both have bonuses towards all 4 combat styles. And the max cape as well. The higher level your tribrid cape is, the better. Max cape is what I have. You can use a completionist cape. That one's better than a max cape. In my glove slot, I have Cinderbane gloves. And the reason for that is because these bosses are, in fact, poisonable. So if I really want to do everything I can to poison them, I would use that. Otherwise, it can be they can be replaced with barrows gloves. Your boots, you're going to want to use Silver Hawk boots. These are a tier 60 damage boots that give you tier 40 grade damage. Or tier 40 grade armor, I should say. But it's like I said, they are a tribrid boot, so you can use all 4 combat styles with it. The next thing you're going to want is to have the ability to use Soul Split. Now, if you don't have Soul Split, you can use Protection Prayers, such as Protect from Melee or Deflect Melee, Protect from Magic or Deflect Magic, Protect from Range or Deflect Range. They all work just fine. But if you are using Protection Prayers, you're going to want to use the Vampirism Aura. The Vampirism Aura is going to heal you based on the amount of damage that you deal. With that, you will be able to survive. The only brother, well, in this case, it's a sister, that you're going to worry about is Linza. Or is it Linza? Yeah, it's Linza. She has about 15 times more health than the other brothers combined. Well, not combined. It's like they have. It's like she has all of their health combined into one monster. Linza does not really do a whole lot of damage, but it takes a while to kill. So there's that. If you don't have the right quests, you will not be worrying about Linza or Acrosay. You will just be doing the regular 6 brothers, which are Darok, Torag, Verak, Guthan, Aram, and Carol. So the next thing you're going to want is your best overloads. If your overloads do not have the ability to recharge prayer on its own, along with that, you should bring a super prayer renewal. Just in case, bring one emergency Ceridome and Brew, one emergency super restore. If you're using overloads, the super restores are not necessary. However, if you're worried about your prayer, bring a couple of super restores. If you really want to have a higher chance of poisoning any of the monsters, bring a weapon poison plus. That's right, that's 3 pluses. That is a very, very high chance of poisoning, as well as dealing higher damage than any other weapon poison before it. In my case, I'm not going to use it. It's not necessary. The next thing you're going to want is, it's from a quest. You're going to want the Draken's Medallion. What this does is it will teleport you to Barrows, pretty much right to the entrance of it. So you can start there right at the entrance, as well as every time you go to loot the chest, you can teleport with it again. The only time it will lose a charge is if you are teleporting from an area that is not within the swamp area. So the Draken's Medallion starts with 10 charges, and for whatever reason, if you start losing any charges, you can recharge it at Berg de Rot before it runs out of charges completely. So in my case, I am going to be using Air Surge for my magic attack, as well as I have Ruby Becriminal Bolts E. You can just use regular bolts. You can even use Royal Bolts. You can use Ascension Bolts. You can use... It's not that difficult. You can use almost anything that's like tier 70 and above. And that's about it. The best way to get there is... if you don't, is with the Draken's Medallion, but if you don't happen to have that for whatever reason, I will do one run, and where I'm going to start is at the Canifis Lodestone. I'll do a run each way, just to kind of show how it goes. So from the Canifis Lodestone, there's a trap door back here behind the bar. And you go down the trap door. You search the wall right here. It's kind of hard to click on, but it's right there. If you have entity highlights on, it'll be easier to find. And you run all the way through the tunnel. And you enter the cave entrance. Is that right? No, you don't enter the cave entrance. You open the wooden doors. That's what it is. You open the wooden doors, and it brings you right here. Now you can still see the bar a little bit, but what you're going to do is run south. And the pathing is just a little bit rough for getting there. There we go. You walk this rope bridge right here. Or you climb the tree first, and then you go across the rope bridge. And then you just run. Eventually you'll see this swamp boat here. You're going to take it. And now you're going to notice you are right across the bridge from the Barrows brothers. So that path that I took is after a few quests have been done. And then you just run across the bridge. And you go here. And then you're at the Barrows brothers. The next way you're going to get across is... Let's start at the Canopus Lodestone again. Is you're going to have to run all the way through the swamp. It's over here. Come on. Come on, game. Open gate. See the lighting changed. It's really pretty, but it kind of hurts your eyes a little bit. So what you can do is you can change the skybox filter if you really need to. But basically after you go through that gate, you just continuously run south for a long time. This is the longest way to go, or the longest path to take. So you can see right here, you finally go across that little bridge. You can cut through right there instead of going all the way around. If you have it, use your surge a lot. Especially if you know you're not going to run into walls. Huh, there's 3. I actually ran out of run energy. What the heck? So, anyways, once you pass through that winding path, you cut through this little town, and this is the bridge right here to the Barrows brothers. Another way you can do, and this is the final way, is you can get to your nearest fairy ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my Takozo ring, which is right here. You can also use a Slayer ring, and then if you don't have those either, you can teleport to Edgeville, and there's a fairy ring right across the bridge over here. So just get to your nearest fairy ring, use select destination, and then you're going to want to go to let's figure it out here. Wow. So there's a Mariki hideout under the hollows. You could do that one probably. Probably. But what you're going to look for is, I'm going to open the map here just to... Let's look for fairy rings. Fairy rings. Right there. You know, look for BKR, so it's that one right there. So if you can't find it in here for whatever reason, there it is, BKR. Mort Myers south of Canifus. For whatever reason, if you can't find it, you can also punch it into here, and it will work. So make sure you select BKR, and there. And then from there, you're going to want to find that little boat again. So you can see the bar. And so you're going to want to go this way. And I believe the boat is over here. There it is, right there. So it takes you through the swamp. You ride the boat. And it takes you right to the bridge. That's the same boat that you took on the first trip. And then that's the Barrows Brothers right there. The last thing is, like I said, you can use the Dragon's Medallion and teleport straight to Barrows. So now that you know how to get there, let's start. So I always like to start wielding magic. This is my bar in order here. You shouldn't need to build all the way up to 100% adrenaline on most of the brothers except for Linza. On Linza is the only one that you're going to be building up to 100% adrenaline. It's not necessary to start at 100% adrenaline by any means whatsoever. But put your thresholds on the front. So Asphyxiate and Wild Magic. And then Dragon Breath, Concentrated Blast. And then just build your bar from there. Don't worry about Omni Power. Try to not use it if you can help it. I choose to not use it myself. In fact, I will even take it off the bar just for the sake of this guide. Sonic Wave is not important if you're not using a two-handed ability. If for whatever reason you have, if for whatever reason you have a two-handed weapon, use Sonic Wave instead of Concentrated Blast. The only real ultimate you're ever going to want to use is Sunshine, or in the range case, Death's Witness. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And like I said, you're not going to build up to your adrenaline to 100% unless you're fighting Linza, which requires a lot of quests. So this is what my bar will look like for range. It really, what it is it is a basic 1 versus 1 bar. You're not really going to kill any other monsters in there until you hit the tunnels. So let's get started. Activate your Vampirism aura if you're not using Soul Split. Otherwise, activate your best damaging aura. In this case, for me, it's going to be Dark Magic. For the sake of this guide, I will not use it. Also, for the sake of this guide, I will not start with any prayer. This is just to show how easy this really is. but I highly recommend you start with full prayer. The only other thing you need to know is that Barrows does not allow you to bring familiars into the area. So no Beast of Burden, no Yaks, no Ripper Demons, no Steel Titans, no nothing like that. So I always start with Darok. So Enhanced Excalibur, Prayer, Overload. And I've already healed up my Prayer a lot because of my Overload. So I just turn on my Soul Split, find out that it's a Darok tunnel. If you can, Surge and click on the next Spade. Kill Varrock first. And then run over if you don't have it on. If you have it unlocked, and kill Acrosay. Acrosay does pray against you every so many hits, so make sure you switch in between magic and range. This is the reason you need 2 combat styles. Once you have him killed, you can not worry about having to switch combat styles anymore. Now go over to Torag, kill him, real easy. Now next is, I like to do Guthan next. Kill him. Now in the case of Carol and Aram, they're using range and magic, so I wouldn't use magic against Carol. I would use range instead, just in case you have lower level weapons. But there you go. Carol's dead, and now Aram. And the next thing you're going to notice is once you kill Aram, there's another tunnel over here for Linsa. Now go over to Linsa, kill her. Use your most powerful combat style, because she takes a long time to kill. This is where you can Sunshine or Death Swiftness. But as you can see, my prayer is still really, really low. And the thing about the tunnels here is they have a prayer draining effect. So the more prayer boosting you have, the better. Prayer bonus armor is not really what helps it too much. It helps just a little bit, but not nearly as much. Now, Linsa is also the most powerful one by far. You can see I'm still being dealt quite a bit of damage, but still going to survive just fine as long as I'm using Soul Split or Vampirism. Now that I'm out, this interface up here will tell you what brother you have not killed, and in my case it's Darok. So I'll go back to the Darok mound where you found him. The brothers always stay in the same place every single time you run through, no matter what. You found a hidden tunnel? Yes, I'm fearless. Try to find out what doors are the ones that are going to open, so it's not either of these two here. But if you only have one way to go, you kind of have to follow the path. There's really not much you can do about that. While you're going through the tunnels, it's recommended to kill about 20 monsters, in my opinion. I don't think 20 is a bad number for using EOC abilities, but it's like I said, this is not the most efficient run in the game, in the whole world, but it's easy. use chain first wherever you can, and then keep going until you find the tunnel. Chain and sunshine are really the only abilities you're ever going to have to activate. Then once you find the door that surrounds the chest, do the puzzle. In that case, the answer is square. And then go through. And just kind of be aware that you don't really have any prayer right now, but be prepared to kill the brother. And once he's dead, open the chest and bank your loot. So from there on, you can either decide to run out the tunnels or bank, or just use your Draken's medallion and do another run. I did all this in under 1 overload dose, so about 5.5 minutes is what it showed. An overload dose lasts about 6 minutes. Remember, I started with 0 prayer whatsoever. But the next time that you go through, once you re-overload, once you redo your super prayer renewal if you have to, you'll have some prayer back again. You'll be able to soul split your health back, or vampirism, or whatever you're using. And really, that's about it. The only reason you bring 1 brew and 1 super restore is because it's really a just in case thing. You're not really going to be expected to use it at all by any means, but it is there. But yeah, that's about it.